Everyone wants their bike to be as clean as possible, but few ever stop to think about how dirty their helmet is, especially on the inside where the dirt and bad odors hide in the shadows. So today I'm going to show you the 2 ways that I clean my helmet inside and out. One method for when I'm lazy or in a hurry, and one more thorough approach for when the idea of putting my head into a gross environment starts to bother me. So this is how my helmet currently looks. A decent amount of bug splatter, water spray up the back thanks to the MT-09's useless mudguard, white paint marks on the visor from where I accidentally bumped it against the wall at home, and you'll have to wait and see how bad the inside is when we wash it. But luckily I do have some excuses lined up for the state it's in. Dirt shows up more on white. It's not the fanciest helmet in the world, so I don't really care. I'm 100% the guy that worries more about how clean his bike is than his gear. I got it dirty purely to accommodate this video. But the truth is that I didn't clean the outside that long ago, and I've never actually cleaned the padding of this helmet in the 18 months or so I've had it. So this seemed like a good time to do it. The way I see it is, there are only 2 reasons to clean a helmet. It obviously keeps it looking nice and unclogs the bugs in your air vents to keep the air flowing, but the 2 main reasons are vision and hygiene. I often don't really notice when the bug splatter slowly builds up on my visor. So then when I do clean it, my next ride always feels like it's in 4K because I can see so clearly. And helmets are disgusting places when you stop to think about it. I bet you've ridden on a hot day when you're sweaty, or with oily hair rubbing against the padding. How about when you were a tad sick and coughing and sneezing were inevitable? Or maybe you're a woman who wears makeup that rubs off on the cheek pads. And I know you've ridden behind smoky cars before. Okay, I'll stop there because I don't want to put you off of helmets forever and become one of these helmetless morons. But you get the idea. So here's how to fix that. Unfortunately, the lazy method does require a product. But at least it's a fun product that lets you cover your helmet in snow foam and inevitably the rest of your surroundings. Now, usually I hate cans like this. They're often less effective than household methods and cost a fortune because they've slapped a brand name on it that you associate with motorbikes. But this one I actually really like. Not because Motorex has ever acknowledged my existence, but because I once made a video comparing different helmet cleaners, and this one is the only one I'd ever spend money on again. After a minute or 2, the snow foam will have softened the splattered bugs, allowing most bugs and accidents to be wiped off relatively easily. And because it's developed specifically for this, it won't damage your shell or visor. But the best part is, it works inside and out. It feels destructive, drenching your helmet's lining in snow foam, but it's rather satisfying knowing that it's killing any bacteria and also deodorizing the inside with that new car smell. The only downside is that it will have to be left to dry for a few hours, so you can't ride immediately. So this method is great to do every couple of months, but about once a year, you'll probably want to remove the dirt that's been building up in your helmet padding and not just sanitize it. Despite the name, this has nothing to do with the Harley Owners Group. On the outside, I take a similar approach to the lazy method, but in addition also remove the visor and breath guard, followed by a soft bristle toothbrush to dislodge any bugs and dirt in the air vents, visor mechanism, and tough to reach places. The padding then needs to be removed so that we can gently wash it by hand. Every helmet is slightly different, but you should at least have removable cheek pads and headliner. And I also had a removable neck pad and chin skirt that I'll clean too. Believe it or not, the best thing to use is baby shampoo. Somewhat because my dad jokes are impeccable, but mostly because babies are delicate just like your helmet. So this doesn't contain any strong chemicals that can damage your helmet. Since I don't have hot water at the workshop, I just mixed a bucket of cold water with a kettle of boiling water to get the warm water I wanted. But a normal sink would obviously be easier if you're not filming it. I then tossed in a dash of baby shampoo. and then another dash since I had no idea how much to use, but it seemed to work. Then it's as simple as submerging each piece of padding and massaging out the dirt. Definitely avoid hot water and don't get too rough with the padding, because I did that with my last helmet and it was never the same again. To be honest, I expected the color of this water to be much worse than this, but nevertheless you can see the difference this will make. All the pieces then need to be rinsed off in fresh water and left to dry for the next day before you can reassemble your helmet and appreciate the clean environment. So my helmet is now sparkling on the outside, except for that one bug I hit already on the way here, but we won't talk about that. And feels and smells nice and fresh on the inside. Now, this is definitely not the only way to clean a helmet. There are plenty of ways to do it. However, these are two methods that I personally do and would recommend. I will admit it's something that I'm very bad at, which is exactly why it's important to have an easy method so you don't keep just putting it off. But anyway, let me know when last your helmet got some TLC, and hit the like button if this video motivated you to clean yours, and I'll see you on the next ride.